Hello.
For all our wine lovers
And book lovers.
this is Wine Sisters Book Club.
Hello.
Hi.
I was talking to Dad the other day, and I thought it was really funny because Nikki and I just hosted a 4th of July party at our parents' house for our friends when our parents weren't home. And while we were there having this party, we were drinking their tequila. We were like using their food. We were just being total children, and it made me feel like we were in high school all over again. We were like sending them photos of us drinking their alcohol.
Yeah, I literally sent a video of my daughter dancing on their kitchen countertop.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old daughter.
So we are stealing their booze, we are dancing on their counters, and we are not hiding it. And I just said, I love that, like, you can never be too old to throw a party in your parents' house when they're out of town and drink their booze.
Yeah, never.
Never.
I mean, they're not drinking the tequila. It was just sitting there for no one.
This, like, really beautiful tequila.
Actually, we all did take a shot of this. It literally says sipping tequila on the label. Mm-hmm. And we all took a shot and we were like, wow, that was good.
And we were with our high school friends being like high schoolers.
Yeah.
One shot was not all that was had.
No, that's true. Also, we should be like shouting out that tequila because it was good.
It was, but I can't remember what brand it was.
Literally don't know the name. I do know that the label was clear. Like the label was see-through and the writing was black.
We will follow up
on
our social media. This is a marketing plug. Follow us on social, Wine Sisters Book Club.
Yeah.
But we will get it up there. But it was really good. Anyways, I just think it's fun. We're young, we're hip, and we're still at it. We're still keeping our parents on their toes.
Yeah. Well, have you seen those like Instagram or TikTok videos that are like, what year do you consider old? And everyone's like, oh, anything after or anything before 2000. Like,
that like actually makes me sick.
Yeah.
Sick to my stomach. And it's happening. We are getting older. I hate to admit it. Honestly, doing this podcast has made me realize that I'm older.
Yeah, I mean, the 4th of July made me realize that we're older because after those shots, man, took me 4 days to recover.
Yeah, you were not well.
No.
I was not well either, but I don't get the like 4-day sprawl.
Mine was really bad. Like, this is my first no, I had a glass of wine last night, but it's been a while and no wine for me.
But you're sitting in a wine t-shirt, so don't let one bad weekend stop you, baby.
No. It won't deter me forever. It just gives me a little break.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
We're going to have another big weekend.
Yeah. Well, and we recently had our like local book club that is with girls that we grew up with, essentially.
More high school friends.
It just like reinvigorated me on reading and talking about books, which I think is so fun because whenever you talk about a book that you've read with someone else, they have such a different perspective on different things, or they pick up like little things that you don't recognize yourself. And then I also had the same epiphany on Instagram following Beach Reads and Bubbly, like where she said something about a book that she picked up that I would have literally never picked up. And it was in, what book was it? I think I wrote it down. Oh, and It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan, which Annabelle Monaghan is an amazing romance author, which I just love her books, especially for like, she does more mature romance, you know, like the main female character is usually like in her 30s or
so mature.
Well,
so
no,
old.
but like it's not like, oh, this is a person that just graduated college, is 22 and falls madly in love. It's like these are more real life stories. Like, oh, this is a woman who's a single mom, or this is a woman who went through a divorce, or you know, and it's just like a little bit. Some of her characters are in their 40s or 50s. Like it's just
so they're very old by your definition.
No. But one of the things that she picked out in the book was like the main female character was given a compliment and she was like, yeah, I love that about myself. And I just thought that was like such an interesting little thing to pick out. And I quite literally, the next day at work, someone gave me a compliment and I said, "Oh yeah, I love that about myself." And and everyone looked at me kind of funny, but I was like, "It's true, I do."
What was the compliment?
It was about how I was able to engage an audience with like the way that I present myself and the way that I present. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I really do love that about me."
Yeah, you are very good at that, and that is a superpower of yours, and you should really love that about you. And you know what? You should love everything about you, but I know in the world we live in, that's not what happens, but
Right. Well, and I think that
that's
there's
a
like,
fun way.
yeah, and there's some like clear things that we see in the mirror that we're like, "Oh, I know that about myself, and I do love that about myself," and we never talk about that. And so I thought that was like such an interesting thing that she pulled from the book that I probably wouldn't have. And I read the book after her. So like I heard her say this, and then when I read the book, I then heard it. Or saw it,
Felt it, recognized it.
Right.
You were one with it.
I was one with it. But I just thought that was so unique. And then with our book club in Wild Dark Short, someone was talking about how like the aspect of a single father raising their children and how he always passed off the baby if the baby was crying because the baby really wanted the mom. But then when the mom's not there, the dad has to like figure out what to do. And I just thought that was like so powerful and not something that I picked up. And I read that book twice.
Yeah, you did. I didn't pick up that either. And I think the powerful part of it was that he, in his recollection, and I don't even know if we talked about this in our Wild Dark Shore book review because we hadn't had our book club yet. So it hadn't been brought to the front of our minds. But, you know, he was saying how, well, yeah, the baby wants her and I give it to her and she just knows what to do. And he realized like, oh no, she doesn't know what to do either. She's figuring it out. And now I have to figure. It was sort of like, oh, from a different point of view, it might think that like a mom has everything figured out and just knows what to do because of nature. And it's like, no, we are just as blind in all of this.
Right. Like everyone's blind and everyone's figuring it out. But it like, it's so true. Like,
yeah,
it's just like defer to the mom. And
yeah,
we also don't know. We're all writing the same book as we go.
I know. I was even thinking about our nanny and our daughter's changing from 2 naps to 1 nap. And it is challenging to figure this out because she's like really tired, but she really doesn't want to nap in the morning. And then it's like, what time do you put her down? It's so silly, but it's like these little things. You know, every day she's doing this on her own. She doesn't have anyone to talk to about it.
Right.
Other than us. But like on the weekend, Nate and I are like, well, what do you think? Should we put her down now? Should we not put her down now? Should we put her down later? Well, when should her second nap be? And like we talk about it in that crazy amount of detail every day we're together.
Yeah.
And she's just navigating this like on her own every day. And I'm like, that is a superwoman, I'll tell you.
It really is. It really is. But, you know, that's like the beauty of books is that like everyone pulls a different piece out of it. And like that was such like a really powerful piece that I missed twice. Like, and it's not that I missed it, but I think I was I was focusing more on like single dad, 3 kids alone on his own.
Me too. Like, why would you choose to raise your kids out here?
Right.
God.
Right. Whereas like they were picking up on like he was relearning that like he probably didn't help his wife as much as he should have.
Yeah, the emotional part of it. And I'm just like, what in the world are you doing out here with your kids? And then what's happening next in the plot line? Because sometimes I get so focused on a plot line and I just like, I want answers or I want to know what happens between 2 characters.
Yeah.
That I'm not like picking up on all the other cues. I'd say that's my weakness as a reader. I need to slow down, reflect more.
Yeah.
I do think I did that on Go as a River. I slowed down and I reflected more on the greater messages of the book, and that's why I liked that book a lot.
Yeah,
I gave that book 5 stars, where it's not my normal book, and I wasn't like hooked in on all the like plot as much as I was just trying to absorb the experience this woman was having and the messaging around what those experiences were. Kind of thing. So, but you're right. Books it's a fun way to connect to people to. Yeah, see different points of view, to open up different conversations than you would have had before.
Right. So for any of the listeners that come on literally just to hear us talk about our personal lives and we're already in books, this is your sign to read books.
Read the books.
Yeah.
It is so fun.
Yeah, it really is, especially when you like find girls around you or guys that read as well, and you can like have these kind of fun conversations. Like I'm currently reading a book that my dad recommended to me that our dad, and
Just yours.
we share this man. But I didn't think I would like it, and I am devouring it. Like, it is so good. It's called Cutting from Stone. It's about a conjoined twin. Like, it's coming from the perspective of one of the conjoined twins that was born in the 50s in Ethiopia, and to a father who was a doctor, an Englishman who was a doctor, and then his mother was from Indonesia. And she died giving birth, and then it's just like their stories, and it's like the butterfly effect on steroids. Like, every single individual in this person's life that had touched this person has like their backstory told, and it's like so well written, so incredible. It's so long, like so long.
It's probably like 1,000 pages.
Yeah, or I think it's over.
Oh my gosh.
Like 1,200, something like that.
That sounds like a book Dad would read.
Yeah, but it's so good. Like, the storytelling is incredible. Like, of love, of loss, of family, of like a coming of age. Like, it's so well written, and I'm like, yeah. So anyways, take book recommendations from your parents.
Yeah, interesting. I'll have to put that one on my list.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't feeling inspired by the books I had read last month. I'm starting to feel better about the books I'm reading now, so that's always really nice.
Well,
and
that's funny because I feel like last month we read a lot of the same books,
we did.
which I thought was fun. Like, we hardly ever read that many of it. We like read the same book club book,
Yeah.
but I feel like we were reading a lot of the other books the same as well. So I was like, oh, this is cool. We're reading a lot of the same things. I can talk to you about these things.
I know. I don't know why that happened.
I don't either. Well, one of them was a book club book for like our book club here. And then the other one was a book club book for our local book club that we meet with the girls.
And then there was like new releases that we both had on our radar that we probably had holds on Libby. So when they came live, that was the thing. I was trying to outrun my Libby clock, and it was so stressful, like anxiety. So now I've gotten out of that, though I just had 2 books come live, but I feel like they're going to be books I'll go through really quick. So I'm not worried about it. And I'm actually really excited to read them. So, yeah. And speaking of, I was also thinking about how we normally, and we used to also talk about, other than just what other books we're reading, but what else we're drinking.
Yeah, we do.
And this is normally normally for me, summer is spritz season, and I love spritzes. And I used to always make like a different spritz in the summer. Like, I used to make them often, like different kinds and flavors. And I haven't done that this summer. And I don't know why. I was just thinking about it yesterday. So I think I'm going to have to make us a spritz maybe or something for later. It feels like we have to do it. We need to like experiment. It used to be so fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love a spritz.
I think that would be fun. And so we're going out to dinner tonight with our neighbors, which will be really fun. Because Aly and I are also neighbors. And then we have another group of neighbors that have children at the same age as us. And so we're doing parents' night out. And they like wine cocktails.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is kind of perfect.
Well, she's trying the like pour Coca-Cola in your red wine trend,
which is actually really good.
We need to try the trends. I haven't done it. We need to try the trends.
When I was at their house for dinner like a few weeks ago, we did the jalapeno and Sauv Blanc trend, which was really good. It was really good, but like, I'm not going to go out. Like, I wouldn't seek it. But if I had a jalapeno that was cut for like, I was making guacamole or something and I just like had an extra jalapeno, I would for sure do it. But if not like going out to buy a jalapeno to put in my Sauv Blanc, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we did the Coke and the Pinot. And she likes it so much that they're actually like buying Pinot for this because her husband's like, I'm not putting a good Pinot with a Coke.
It's not a cab, it's a Pinot.
Well, she does Pinot and Coke. Okay. I think people do whatever they want.
Okay.
Yeah, but she likes Pinot and Coke. And it tastes like a cherry Coke. Like, it was really good. I was like, if I wanted a glass of wine, this isn't what I would go for.
Right.
But if I wanted,
I guess it's like the same as a cocktail.
Yeah, like if I wanted a cocktail, I would like this.
It's like a low proof cocktail.
Right.
Which is kind of nice.
It is kind of nice. And like Coke has energy, has caffeine. So it's like got a little bit that
little
upper. And we did it with, I think it was Coke Zero. So
nice.
No sugar.
So it's super healthy.
Super healthy.
If you're looking for a really healthy option.
Yeah, we have
Soda.
tips on health.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you on like another switch.
I'm scared.
Okay, so when you are with people that you are like acquaintances with, do you ever do the thing where they're like telling you a story and you're like, oh yeah, that's happened to me, and you start telling them like how you relate to their story because you're trying to fit in? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
The other day I was with people that from college that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm not like, I wouldn't call us friends, but I would say we were acquaintances, similar friend group or like adjacent friend groups, and I didn't know how to like act. I don't know if I'm like just so socially awkward.
Well, I think you're like, what do we have in common anymore? You know, it is a little bit, your lives are in different paths. You're not living the same way. So yeah, you're probably like, what do we have to talk about right now?
Right. And I was just like, every time they would say something that I related to, I'd be like, oh, that happened to me. And then I would share my story. And after a while, like I noticed that the two girls I was with like kept looking at each other when I would do it. And I'd be like, never mind.
You're like, I promise I'm not trying to be a pick-me girl right now. But...
I know. And then I was like, wait, am I coming off as like, let's bring this back to me. Let's talk about me. But that wasn't it. Like, that's not where my heart was. Like, my heart was like, how can I relate so that we can be friends?
Yeah. You're like, no, I'm actually not a narcissist. I just want to relate to you.
I just am trying to figure out common ground so I know what to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, no, that's happened to me a lot. And actually, it is weird, but that is something where I feel like I consciously tried to work on that in different scenarios instead of then telling my story saying like, oh yeah. You know, like not saying, oh yeah, I've done that or that's happened to me. Let me tell you my story, being like, oh yeah, I understand. Or you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. And just being like in my head, yeah, that's also happened to me.
Right. I'm going on a bachelorette party in 2 weeks with girls from college. So I'm very nervous about like,
should we practice?
I know. I'm like,
hey, Niki, I haven't seen you so long. This is what's happening in my life. You go, that's so crazy.
I know. I really need practice.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I've been trapped at home with kids for 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't see the sunlight.
You just sit and talk to me.
Yes.
And you tell me what happens in your life because that's normal. Tell everybody what Sienna did.
Oh, yeah. My child.
And then we'll get to the book.
Yeah.
It's the most extreme tantrum I've ever heard.
Yeah. No, my daughter...
Tell a short story.
A short story.
Version
So
of it.
my husband drives into the office. It's like a hour drive for him. So he leaves around 7:15, 3 days a week. And one of the days he left without saying goodbye in the morning because sometimes when you say goodbye, tantrums ensue. So he just snuck out when they weren't paying attention. 15 minutes later, my daughter's like, where'd dad go? And I was like, he went to work. And she says, he didn't say bye. And I was like, he did say bye. And she's like, no, he didn't. And then she just like loses her mind. So I'm like, okay, we can FaceTime him. So I put him on FaceTime. He's on the train to work. And the tantrum gets worse, like worse when she sees his face. She's telling him to turn around. He can't turn the train around. Like there is no stopping what's happening. Tantrum gets so bad that she's like hyperventilating. She pukes, literally pukes. And then like keeps going. Her brother pushes her because he's like trying to get her to stop crying. He's won. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. It makes it worse. So she cries harder. She literally can't breathe. She's hyperventilating. Her whole body's red at this point. And then she pees her pants, shoes full of pee, like full to the brim. So like I think we're in the midst of potty training. She still wears a pull-up at night, but she doesn't always pee overnight. And so we have probably not forced her onto the toilet right when she wakes up enough. So she probably hadn't peed overnight.
Oh,
and
yeah,
just,
you
like,
got to do that right away. But yeah.
Right. But she's in a pull-up. So like I think, and I didn't dress her that morning, not to place blame, but I didn't, so I don't know if she
Not
peed.
to place blame, but blame place.
Yes, but blame place. So I don't know if she peed overnight. So I'm guessing she didn't because like it literally filled her shoes with pee all over the floor. Like it was everywhere. So crazy. Put her in the bathtub. She's still hysterical, like freaking out. Finally, I'm like, should we go see Papa? Like we don't have to go straight to school. We can go see Papa first, which is my dad. And she's like still freaking out, but like getting a little better. And then I was like, what about if we went and got donuts? It immediately stops on a dime. No more crying. Is now enjoying the bath. that she's in. And I'm like, should have just started with a freaking donut 30 minutes ago when this tantrum started. Like, it was quite literally 30 minutes.
And meanwhile, Nikki just calls me trembling, shaking over the experience she just had and was like, I have to talk to somebody. I am literally traumatized.
I was so traumatized. Like, I was literally sitting at work just shaking. Like, this is so traumatic.
Are those tears in your eyes right now?
I feel like I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God.
She's unwell.
Save me. Well, I am out of wine. I'll take my blind tasting.
Me too. Okay, pour for me as well.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't have mine.
Ooh. Ooh. You don't want to have? Oh, you want mine.
I want yours.
Okay.
This is a blind tasting, for Christ's sake.
That's the truth. Some ASMR.
Well, now that you've talked right over it, not much.
Okay. So, we're going to jump into the Rose Code. So the Rose Code is a historical fiction told from the point of view of three women who served at Bletchley Park during World War II. They became friends and code breakers, but a betrayal and a mystery decades later forced them to confront their past and a traitor. So
Dun,
it's like,
dun, dun.
and that's like Kate Quinn, who's the author, does these sort of historical fiction thriller novels. Like they all involve a mystery. They all involve like some sort of espionage or, like something that's like keeping you on the edge of your seat, which I really love about her writing. And I actually I loved this book. What did you rate it?
I really liked it too. I gave it 4 stars. I think, and I only gave it 4 stars. I really, really liked it. I only gave it 4 stars because it was so long.
It was long.
It wasn't like that long. I think it was 700 pages. But for me, like the story didn't have to go on that long. Like if it was just a little shorter, I think I would have liked it. I would have given it 5 stars.
So I agree. I gave it 4.5 stars, and
that's cheating. I think I would have given it 4.5 if we were doing points.
I do points. So you can do points.
Well, welcome. I'm just now figuring it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to our episodes, I give points all the time. But I gave it 4.5 stars because I thought that the beginning, like the intro, was a little confusing with the 3 points of view and dual timelines. So it was like you're switching people who you don't know yet, and you're going back and forth between 2 timelines.
You hate dual timelines.
I don't like dual timeline, that's for sure. I didn't mind it as much as the book picked up, but in the beginning, it was hard for me to get sucked in.
Right. It was like, who are all these characters? What time am I in? What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
And but by the I don't know, maybe it was 15 or 20%, maybe a little less, probably 10 to 15%, let's say. I was hooked and I didn't mind that it was long. So it's almost like I could have cut off the first 15%, but I liked the last 15%. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The end was good. I think for me, it sort of was getting stalling in the middle a little bit, like after Mab's fiance, passed away, and it kind of dragged on for a while. They're not talking to each other. I know they probably had to lay that groundwork to understand the now piece of the book, but I was just having a hard time with that. Is it corked?
No.
Oh, she's just smelling it. She's very intrigued.
I'm trying to figure out the blind tasting, girl.
I know. Okay. My favorite part of this book was how they talked.
Yeah.
I loved Oz. I'm just going to call her Oz. Ozla.
Yeah. Was she your favorite?
She was my favorite because she was funny.
Yes.
And she was, she was like, don't call me a silly Deb, which I think is socialite, rich girl. She was super smart. She was witty. She was really clever. She was writing the underground paper. You have to be clever and driven to do something like that. But I just thought she had the funniest vocabulary, and I was thinking God, I would love to go back in time and be your friend. I think it would be so fun to be your friend.
Right. Well, and it is, I don't, did you read the author's note at the end?
No.
Okay. So the author's note at the end was actually I hardly ever read those, but I actually did on this one. And it was so interesting because Oz in the book has is not a real character, not a real person, but Prince Philip is. And Osla is based on Osla, who was, I don't remember her real last name, but it was the woman who Prince Philip dated before he married
Queen
Queen
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. And so she actually went back and made their like first meeting, like her wearing that uniform on a date was like
Real?
very real.
Oh.
And so like she did work at an airplane factory. Like she did all of these things. Like that was her personality.
Right.
And so like a lot of it was like fantasticized because you don't have like an accurate detail of all of these things.
Right.
But like even Philip getting sick that Christmas was factually accurate.
Oh,
She doesn't know if they were both at the hotel, but she does know that Osla's mother did have a room there. So like it's like a lot of these factually accurate things were happening, which I thought was just so interesting. I love it when historical fiction like actually lines up with reality, and I think the best author that does that is Ken Follett.
Yeah,
But,
he definitely does.
But I really liked that she was so close. And like, did you know about Prince Philip's background? Like, I guess I've never learned.
I never have learned. I never knew Bletchley Park was a place.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I would have even pieced it together that like you told me that it was about Prince Philip and like his, you know, like you tied it to reality for me. I don't even know if I would have realized it was like truly about Prince Philip married to Queen Elizabeth.
Well, do you know what gave it away for me?
What?
Literally, I didn't know either until he said Lilibet.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch
Yeah, I did when I watched The Crown.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't watch all of the seasons of The Crown, but I watched a little bit of it. And yeah, the Lilibet, I was like, oh, that's the tell. And then obviously the time, it's Lilibet,
Right.
it's
Right.
Prince. You know, but I just like, I don't know, I dove into that book without any real knowledge about what the book was about beforehand, other than it was a World War II
Retelling.
historical fiction. So yeah, I didn't realize that when we like initially even put the book on our list. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I learned so much in this book, which I love. But I really did love Osla. She was definitely my favorite character too.
I love like also learning about women who really helped make major strides in the war.
Yeah.
Like who did critical things. You know, there was that movie of the women who helped truly like get our spaceship onto the moon. I'm trying to remember what
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, these stories are not told.
Yeah.
It's not told how all these, like, I know there was also men at Bletchley Park, but there was all these, like, very smart women cracking codes, solving puzzles, like, really providing essential information to the group. So I think it's just fun to learn more about that. And I just love a good story about leading ladies anyways.
Yeah. So like speaking of leading ladies and World War II, how did you feel about like the treatment of the girls? Because it felt like they were under a microscope in like a different way than the men. And like even just like the hint of Prince Philip having like a relation, now Osla's like considered being a traitor. Like how did you feel about all of that plot line?
I mean, I think, to be honest, I didn't think about it in that way. I think it is like women are still treated different today than men. Like we are still held to different standards.
Yeah.
I was literally even thinking that as I was like dropping Jones off at school this morning, like how women just, you're still the mom, like you're still the woman, like there's different expectations, and there were certainly different expectations in that time. So I think it doesn't shock me. It's kind of like disappointing and crazy. I actually was maybe even more shocked about how they thought Prince Philip, I mean, just again, he's a real person, and that was all tied to me. I didn't realize he had all these relatives who were like supporting, Nazis. So that was actually the most shocking part to me. I was like, no way. And that people were doubting him. And I'm like, how does he then, who has all these connections to Nazis, become the prince, and then, you know, the duke, or I don't remember what his official title is, but
Prince of Wales?
I don't know. I don't think so. That's Princess Diana is the Princess of Wales. This is not my strong suit.
Yeah.
royalty. But he was a prince, so he probably stayed a prince.
He was the Prince
he
of
was
Greece.
the Prince of Greece.
Which I didn't know.
I didn't know
like,
that either.
I like it makes you feel a little stupid
Yeah.
when you learn things from books that you read, but it's also like, well, thank God I read this.
Right. Right. It's not a subject that I've dove deep on to really understand, which is funny because I really love history. Like, it's why I love historical fictions. I think they're awesome. I like fiction, though. I'm just like, I can't just read. Nate, my husband, likes to just read like historical nonfiction books.
He
like
doesn't like to read it, or else he would read more.
He doesn't like, exactly. That's what I tell him. You don't actually like these books. That's why you don't read.
Right. He thinks he likes them, or he wants to like them.
He thinks he needs to be so smart.
Yes.
Sorry, Nate.
Nate
Catching
is
straights.
straights.
Yeah. This is a therapy session for me. No. But I think it's so fun to learn about periods and times. I don't know. I've always liked history. I think it's just really interesting to like, I don't know, World War II was not long ago. So you're just learning about different things that happened, and that's real, that occurred in different places or different times. I don't know. I like history.
Yeah, me too.
Makes me think I should read more, study more. I did read like tons of books when I was younger about like way back when England and all the different kings and queens.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to remember those things too, because like I have read like all of Ken Follett's work, which is basically like telling us from the dawn of time to now. Mm-hmm. And I remember learning so much, but now I'm like, what did I learn in those books? Like, you can just refresh, read again.
Yeah.
That's like the best part. I like own, because when I was reading Ken Follett, I really did audiobooks. And when you own an audiobook, you own it forever. So,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just go back and read it again. Listen to it again.
Well, I own a lot of my actual books because I bought a lot of them.
Yeah.
Before I knew how to use Libby.
Yeah, Libby's so important to me.
It is. But there's like a few summer books I have that I'm not going to get on the list. I'm going to have to buy them because I want to read them in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
I want it to be seasonally relevant for me.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, my next question for you is that the two mysteries. So like yes. I counted them as two mysteries. One is who's the mole, and two is who's Osla's fiance.
Right.
Because she just never says.
I know.
And did you guess?
I didn't think that they were the same, but I was pretty confident that Giles was Osla's fiance because they talked about him getting, like he was a center figure from the moment they stepped on Bletchley Park.
Yeah.
To the Mad Hatters, to pretending apparently to be in love with all the gals. And then like when Mab wouldn't talk to Osla because she blamed Osla for the death of her fiance and her daughter, which we should talk about that for sure. It talked about her spending time with him, like drinking out with him. And so a part of me was like, I bet you she just said, fuck it. I'm just going to get married to him because he's here and it's convenient and whatever. I lost the love of my life and I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, so that part to me, but I didn't think he was the traitor. What about you?
Oh, I definitely didn't think he was the traitor. I for sure thought it was Henry because that one time Henry like blew up and he was like,
I thought it was
we
him too.
need to give more information to the Soviets. I was like, oh my God, he is the traitor. But like every book gives you like a lead. And I was led astray. And then for the fiance, I had no idea. Like I was like, who the F is her fiance? Like it literally was, I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah, but you kind of like picked up on it that she didn't really care that much about him. Because she said like, oh, he's just a friend. It's nothing romantic. It's nothing like it was with Philip or something. I think they said at one point.
Right. Totally. But I was just like, oh my God, I don't.
No.
Was not clocking for me.
I did totally think it was Harry, not Henry.
Harry. Yeah.
Harry. No, I said Henry. You said Harry.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. I don't know.
It says Henry in my notes, but it is Harry.
It is Harry. Yeah, Harry for sure I thought was the traitor. And then if it wasn't him, I was like, it's got to be Peggy. You know, the gal who worked with Beth. I was like, it has to be Peggy or someone close to Beth. Yeah. It has to like center around Beth, or like, why would you send Beth off?
Right.
You know, so it had to be someone close.
Yeah. If you were like Beth, I feel like is such a controversial character.
Yeah,
because
she's special.
but she had autism. Like she was autistic.
She was?
Absolutely. Like she was so great at crosswords, she didn't understand social interactions. Like it didn't even cross her mind to warn her friends that they were going into a place that was bombed before they left.
Which was crazy town. And they did not clarify that she knew before they left when they did that paragraph.
No, not until after. Yeah.
And so I thought she found out while they were there. That's the way I read it as I was reading it. Oh, she found out while they're there and there was nothing she could do. And then after you learn that she could have told them not to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a psychopath.
Yeah. But Kate in the author's note, again, since I did read it this time, she mentioned that like Bletchley Park had a lot of autistic employees, and that's how she based Beth and Harry. Like both of them were like based on like being on the spectrum. Because
so that's how you just jumped to that conclusion. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I didn't like autistic. Yeah. No, but like, you know, these like brilliant minds just think about things so differently. And
that's what's powerful.
So crazy to me. Like I would obviously never have made that choice. Like I would have broke my vow in an instant.
Oh yeah.
To tell my friends. Like if you were leaving to go to a place that I knew was going to get bombed, I would have told you. I would have called you the second. Like I would have picked up the phone and dialed you.
Me too.
Because they have phones. Like
and for her to say, "Who? I didn't think anything was going to happen. I thought you'd all be safe." It's like
in a bomb shelter. Yeah.
It's like, but they're literally going to bomb.
Right.
And I guess they would have been safe. Do you blame Asla? Like, do you think it was her fault?
No.
Yeah. That girl was probably kicking, screaming, running. It was an accident.
Well, no, she fell. Asla fell. She tripped. Like, that's what happened was that she rolled her ankle and tripped. And, like, her ankle was actually, like, sprained in the book. So I'm like, okay, she tripped and fell. And that's how her daughter was dislodged from her arms. And I'm like, okay, well, like, then it's no one's fault. Like, the streets have been blown up. Like, there is chunks of mortar everywhere. Like, you know, like, there's asphalt everywhere. Like, rocks. How are you going to blame someone who tripped? It's like a freak accident. But I know when, like, tragedy strikes, you
need someone to blame.
Right. Some people blame anything. Other people focus on, like, either the past or moving forward. But, like, some people blame. And so I understand the rage and the anger. And I know that, like, in the future portions, Mabel was, like, actually Queen Mab was not actually blaming Asla. Like, she was just angry at the situation and didn't know how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. But it did make me so sad for their friendship.
It made me sad for their friendship. It made me sad for Mab, honestly, because she was, like, falling in love with this. Like, I just felt sad for her love story, too. I felt sad for her daughter. I didn't know, we didn't know it was, like, really her daughter until halfway into the book. So it was just super, super sad. But I loved, you know me, my little happy endings.
Yeah.
I love that Mab ended up with someone who, while they didn't, like, she didn't really
give him a chance.
Yeah, there was a lot of fire and passion there, which if there's fire and passion, there is a chance for your, like, true love to form around, like, friendship wise. And so I love that they found out at the end, as they were all trying to, like, break the rose code, that they both worked at Bletchley. Now they could talk about their past, that they kind of, like, fell in love back at Bletchley.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's so cute.
I know. I agree. And I actually love that they both didn't say anything. Like, it just goes to show you, like, how strong someone's will can be. Yeah. Like, when you really feel like you're protecting an important secret. Like, I thought that was really great, too. And I did love that she got her happy ending. Me and too. That I think her and her husband can, like, move forward in, like, a different way. Yeah. And I'm also glad that Asla was like, well, fuck it.
Fuck this guy. Yeah, I love that she was like, let's fucking get him.
And, like, gives Beth her ring. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Go pawn that.
Yeah, take the money. Get your life on track. Yeah. I know. I was like, Asla's so legit. Like, I just love her.
I want to
be her, honestly.
I want to be her. She's so cool.
We never have the same favorite character, but I think we do this time.
I really do think that we did. Okay, and the only other thing that I really picked up from the book that I wanted to talk about was, like, all three girls had a connection with, like, really interesting relationships with their mothers. Like, Asla's mom was, like, a serial dater, like, put her first for sure, like really cared about Osla, but like didn't ask her opinion on putting her first. So she like shipped her to Canada because she thought she'd be safer there without like talking to Osla about like her wants or needs. Like it was like
semi-absent,
definitely absent,
living in her own world,
but
like she loves her daughter, but not like super motherly.
Exactly. And then you have Mab, whose mother was sort of like a total bitch, but she was like struggling, like she lived in poverty, so she needed her kids to work, like
but still like nice enough to take her daughter.
Yeah. And then you have Beth's mom, who was Satan incarnate.
Disgusting. I'm so glad she like got thrown out. You
Right.
know, like I'm so glad everyone turned on her finally.
Right. And like knowing that Beth is like is portrayed as a neurodivergent child, like it's like almost abusive.
It is
it was
totally
abusive no matter what.
Yeah, I'm like, it's abusive. She was like pinching her arms,
right?
And
but like abusive, like also to her neurodivergent nature. Like she's not.
And her dad, what a like pathetic loser.
Yes, God, what a loser.
What a loser.
Yeah, the whole thing. At least he helped in the end. Took out the note, got that shipped off. But like it's interesting the way that she wrote like the three women who end up rooming together and all have like really intense relationships with their mothers.
Yeah.
Like I just thought that was like a interesting connection. And like, how do you think it impacted their friendship?
I think it impacted their friendship just based on the kind of people they are.
Yeah.
You know, like who they are, how they care for people, what they want to be when they grow up, or like as they grow older. That's again, me and my senselessness. I didn't pick up on any of that as I was reading it. But I do think that, you know, it's sort of like, you know, when you grow up and you're like, oh, my mom was super strict, so I'm not going to be very strict. Or like, you know, you have like, there's qualities where you're like, I'm not going to do that because of the way I was raised, or I am going to do that because of the way I was raised. Now I'm like, yes, I will be strict. My mom was strict. I will be strict, you know?
Right.
And I think that's just like how it shapes who you are as a person. And that like bleeds into who you are as a friend.
Right. Well, I just think that they were able to like rely on each other in a way that maybe someone who had a different type of upbringing might not have been able to, because it's like absent mom versus mom that was forcing you to work as a child and versus mom that was abusive. Like
they needed each other.
They really did. It was like they like created a little family, and that bond was really strong. And that's why it was so heartbreaking when they all kind of fizzled apart.
But true friendship prevailed.
True friendship.
And I do love that they like broke Beth out.
Yes.
Like they broke her out of her living in this horrid trapped life.
Right.
And I love Osla, so she can do no wrong. And she didn't even ask if Beth wanted to be in Bletchley, but I love that she recognized, she's observant, like she recognized that Beth had a superpower and that she was in a terrible situation.
Right.
And she took it in her own hands to save her. And whether or not Beth appreciated that in the beginning, obviously it turned out to be a good decision.
Right.
So it's just like women helping women. Women's got each other's backs, and they had a fallout because also women are crazy sometimes. We are. But then they came back to each other, which I loved that. And I loved like the scene of them breaking her out of the hospital. Like I loved like them chasing down Giles in the subway and like sitting on him, and you know what I mean? Like they all go to jail, like whatever. I just think
she calls Prince Philip
to break her out
at the castle.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I loved this book. I think it was a great book.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is my favorite book. Besides Wild Dark Shore, I did give 5 stars. So this and Wild Dark Shore are my 2 favorite books this year
that we've read.
As this book club,
as wine sisters. This and probably God of the Woods for me. I loved I give God of the Woods 5 stars.
Oh,
I really liked that book. Honestly, I have amnesia. I can't even remember what else we've read at this point. So
it's called Brain Damage.
Actually, I've liked a lot of the books we read. We read The Many Lives of Mama Love, Onyx Storm. I turned my head. They're all right here. So anyways, I've really liked most of the books we've read.
Yeah. I don't think I have all of them.
No, you definitely don't, because we are now.
Oh, I'm missing this book.
And A Great Big Beautiful Life.
Oh, and A Great Big Beautiful Life.
Yeah, which we didn't love.
So. We didn't love. That was my least favorite this year, which is surprising because I love Emily Henry.
We thought that was going to be a fave.
Okay. Let's talk about the wines.
You go first.
Okay, mine is interesting. It's darker in color, like almost, it's a white wine and it's got a little bit of sediment. It's darker in color, like honeyed
Yeah.
white wine, and it has really beautiful aromatics, like honeyed aromatics. So like giving me like, I think it's like maybe a Semillon or a late harvest Sauv Blanc.
It's not a Wenti wine.
Well, yeah, I could tell because she brought the bag, and the bag is squat, so the bottle is small, and we do not produce wines like that.
I was like, this is a giveaway, but it's too good for like why I picked it to not bring it.
Well, so like they talked about Bollinger
Oh yeah, they did.
all the time, and I was like, oh, if I had a bottle of like actual French champagne in my closet, I probably would have picked it. But
I almost brought it because of the fizz.
Yeah.
I love that, and I think we should start calling champagne fizz.
I think we absolutely should call champagne fizz. Like, why not?
Let's do it. We're gonna own it.
Yeah, own it. But I think that this is a Sauterne.
No, you are wrong. It is Scribe skin fermented Chardonnay.
Oh my God, I would have literally never got it.
I know you wouldn't. And it's in a squat bottle, which is so funny. So I got it because Scribe, it just sort of felt to me like the name Scribe is sort of what half of them were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And they were trying to solve a mystery, and a skin fermented Chardonnay is a bit of a mystery on like, what is this wine and what's happening here? And they were trying to crack codes, and you tried to crack this code and you did not today.
Yeah, like it almost like has like an orange muscat nose. Like it,
Funny.
like there's something like really aromatic and beautiful about it that does not, to me, jump out of the glass and scream Chardonnay. But it could be like the Wenti clone of Chardonnay can sometimes smell like muscat.
Yeah.
Or taste like muscat. So it's just like an interesting.
Okay, it doesn't smell like Chardonnay at all.
It doesn't smell like Chardonnay at all, but it's really good. It's a dry wine.
I smell apples, but
I was expecting it to be sweet by the color. So I was thinking it was going to be a Sauterne, like in like the traditional sense of like dessert wine Sauterne, and it is not. But I'm going to let Aly.
I'm definitely drinking Chardonnay. I think.
Why would you say that?
It smells like a Chardonnay. It tastes like a Chardonnay, but it has like a really lovely acidity. I think it's gone through mallow. It's like creamy on the palate. I'm going to be honest, I don't know exactly which Chardonnay it is, and maybe it's a Sauv Blanc, but I think it's a Chardonnay. So
No, I'm stressing her out.
You are. She's just like staring at me with these weird eyes, but I don't know if is it Wenti?
It is.
Okay. I think it's our small lot, our limited release Chardonnay.
It is.
Is it Riva?
It is.
It's our Riva. Oh my God, that's
Riva
so
is
funny.
our girl.
It tastes delicious, by the way.
Yeah, and the reason I picked Riva, usually I would pick a wine that like reminds me of the book, but in this case, I picked a wine that I was drinking during the book. So like whenever I was reading this book when my kids were asleep and I was still awake and I was downstairs, I would be drinking a glass of Riva because it's like my comfort wine.
But also, you could spin this differently. Riva is for the girls. This book is about the girls.
Yeah, it
and
really
friendship and girl power. So
Riva's for the girls. Riva is also for the guys. You don't have to feel alone, guys out there, if you're listening.
Yeah, you're allowed to drink Riva, but Riva's for the girls.
Riva is for the divas.
For the divas.
And yeah, I just thought it was like, I would have put a bottle of Bollinger.
No, it's fun to do Riva and like surprise me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get it because in my mind, Riva wasn't even like in the cards. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we drink it, so it's actually embarrassing that I got that wrong. And I did have a moment where I was like, is this Riva? And I was like, no, I don't think she would do that. So I was like, I think it's
I tricked her. All right. Well,
This
that
was
was
fun.
fun.
Love
Cheers.
you.
Love ya.